Hello and welcome to another episode of Conversations with Hindu Millennials. And I would like to ask Anuva if she has any questions for me today.
Yeah, so the other video we did was about lessons from the Mahabharata, and that was really helpful for me. And obviously the other big story that I grew up hearing about was Ramayana. And I guess I have a similar question as to what takeaways you would share from that one.
Right. Well, these are wonderful questions because they go to the core of what we're trying to discover here. And in one of our conversations, we've talked about Hinduism being an anglicized misnomer. The actual name for the Hindu religion is Sanatana Dharma. And by that we mean Sanatan means this is eternal for all people and all times, and dharma is the right thing to do. You know, how to sort out the human condition.
Yeah.
And what is the human condition that needs sorting out? We have two tendencies. We have two aspects to us. We have a material, physical aspect to us, and we have a spiritual, which is what? Non-physical, right?
I just want to go back quickly to that thing you said about for all people and all being.
Yes.
I think it may have been you or somewhere I heard that you can't convert in and out of Hinduism. Is that where that comes from? It's for everyone at any given time, whoever wants to practice it?
That's right, because it was never, it was never intended to convert
Or to gather a following.
Yeah.
Either you
Because this is something, it's not a religion in the traditional sense that you have to buy into. This is about yourself, and you're already that. They are talking about the human being being like there is a material, physical part to a human being and a spiritual, which is the non-physical part. Now everybody, irrespective of which part of the world you come, which age, which time, we have a body and we have a mind. So that's what it is, how to sort out the questions, the body-mind complex, and grow spiritually. So that's why it's called Sanatana, eternal. These questions have been asked by men, by human beings, from people from forever, from
they'll continue to be,
and they will be, and that is why they will never go out of style or fashion. These stories resonate with the questions we ask.
Of all, maybe not all ages, but at any given point there's some aspect of it
anybody,
you're questioning.
Anybody who wants to go on a spiritual path, anybody who has existential questions, these are questions that's going to speak to them. These stories are going to speak to them. So then, let me briefly just mention the story of Ram, not just the whole story of Ramayana, but who he is. So Ram's father is King Dasarath, and his mother is Kaushalya, and he is the heir apparent or the crown prince of Ayodhya. So let's just take this information for today's discussion and what you can take away from it.
Simple enough.
Yes. So each one of us can be a Dasarath. What does Dasarath mean? When you break it up, it is Dasa Ratha. Das means 10 and Ratha means chariot. So how can we say that each of us have 10 chariots? Now, the 10 chariots we're talking about are the 5 Jnana Indriyas and 5 Karma Indriyas. By Indriyas, I mean sense organs. This chariot is literally our body. And we perceive the outside world by 5 sense organs. The eyes to see, the nose to breathe, the skin to touch, the ears to hear, and the mouth to taste, right? This is how we get information from the external world into ourselves as an experience. Then we have 5 organs of action. We can see, and we can, we speak, exactly. We touch. These are the 3 things that we express to the outside world. What we experience inside, we sort of interact with the outside world, and the other 2 are procreate and excrete. So this is not just in the physical terms. Even we, in terms of digesting information and how we express ourselves. So everybody, no matter from which part of the country you come, or world you come, or time you come, or culture you come, has a body and has these 5 sense organs by which you take in information, and 5 organs by which you release information, right? So now this body, this chariot of 10 powers has as a wife Kaushalya. Now Kaushalya means having skillful. how you can skillfully control these 10 organs. 5 organs of taking in information and 5 organs of expressing information. When you do that skillfully, you give rise to Rama. Ram is that eternal bliss that Hinduism or all religion talk about, unconditional happiness. Because most of the happiness we experience is conditional by 3 things: by time, by space, and by causality. Time meaning what you enjoy today, you may not enjoy 20 years from now, 50 years. And then space, what you enjoy in America, you may not enjoy in India. What you enjoy in India, you may not enjoy somewhere else. So that is conditioned by time. And causality is, you enjoy my company because I am your mother. And because you enjoy, yes, there is a link. With somebody else's father, you may not enjoy their company. So happiness is conditioned by time, space, and causality. But Ram is that thing that is within us. When we control these 10 organs, we can access that innermost happiness that all religions, all spirituality talks about. Ultimate happiness. Rama means happiness.
So happiness that's gathered from wealth, how is that conditioned on time, space, or religion?
I'm sorry?
Happiness contingent on wealth. If you make a lot of money, people think of that they're going to feel happier.
Yes, for instance, you're close for a parent, or for if you have a lot of money and your close dear and near ones are dying, that money is not going to give you that happiness. You may have all the money in the world, but that does not give you.
No, I'm asking the happiness that money brings. I'm not getting the link between time, space, and relationship, because the money is good for you in this time and in 20 years.
Because it is. It's causality. It's able to buy you something. When it's not able to buy you something, then it doesn't give you happiness.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and we forget 3 things. For happiness, we just club everything under happiness. Happiness includes ease, joy, and glory. And by ease, we mean comfort. And money only buys you comfort and ease. It can give
temporarily,
you, not just temporarily, forever, comfort and ease. But it does not necessarily give you pleasure. Pleasure comes from somebody's company. Pleasure comes from eating something that money cannot. Pleasure comes from being able to draw, being able to run, jump. That money cannot give you. Then comes with pleasure, after pleasure is glory. By glory, we are talking about the intellect. You know, in Hindu scriptures, they talk about lowest level of that ease. Happiness is pleasure, hot and cold. You can experience it with your physical body. Then comes pleasure and pain. Like you're going somewhere, you enjoy something, and when you don't have it, you don't enjoy. Then comes honor and dishonor. You can give away your biggest wealth to maintain your honor. There are some people, they will easily give away everything, but they should be that experience of honor. Many defense personalities, they do it. And even big Mahatma Gandhi, if you look at big leaders, they will give away everything they own, but they will not lose their honor. So happiness includes these 3 things. But beyond that is that eternal unconditional happiness, which we call Ananda, which is unconditional bliss. So that is Ramayana. But I must elaborate a little bit more. Rama is married to Sita. Now Sita, if you remember, she was born to King Janaka while he was childless, and he was plowing. Some rishi or somebody had told him, to make the story colorful, that you have to plow the field, and while plowing the field, he found her from the mud. These are not very lit, but what is when something is born from earth, from mud, it means it's a material body. And then Ram had 3 other brothers, but he was closest to Lakshmana, and Lakshmana was with him constantly. When they were banished to the forest, Lakshmana decided to go with him. And it is said that he never, for the 12 years or 14 years they were in the forest in exile, not one day or night he slept. Is that humanly possible? So we have to understand, we realize Sita is our material body. Lakshmana is our awareness, which is constantly with you, with your spirit. Exactly, with your soul, with your spirit, with that part of you, that whatever you call it, your inner self, higher self, spirit, soul, it's always with you. Do you always, then you will have a material body at some point? And then Hanuman serves Ram all the time. What does Hanuman stand for? If you go into the stories briefly, he's the son of the wind god, right? And wind signifies what? Breath. So what unites the body, mind, and spirit, or body awareness and your spirit. Is the breath awareness. That's why most meditation always starts with bringing your awareness to your breath.
Yeah.
That's when you can, in yoga, that's what they do. You unite the body with the mind.
Through breath, yeah.
Yes. So that's one lesson. And then another lesson that that I think most of you youngsters should always keep in the back of your mind is how Sita was abducted, because they were in the forest, and then she is an extremely erudite, educated princess of one of the most educated and wise kings, and was married to Ram, who was equally came from a very illustrious lineage of family. So they were in the forest one day, and she saw a golden, not golden color, golden deer, and she suddenly wanted to possess it. So she tells Ram, please go get it. And Ram says, there's no such thing as a golden deer. Yes, but she insisted on it, saying, please go get it. That deer was a demon that was disguised as a, and then he goes, and then when he kills that deer lets out a scream saying, Lakshman, please save me. It was again a decoy, to deceive. And Sita got very upset and told Lakshman, you go help your brother. And Lakshman says, what is wrong with you? It is Ram, the spirit. Nothing can happen to the spirit ever. My job is to look after you. I cannot leave you. And then she gets very sarcastic and she says, oh, so you are coveting me. You want me. That's why I don't. And he was so hurt. So he said, okay, if you insist, then I will go. But please, I will draw 3 lines. And because he is a very spiritual person, he had done a lot of meditation, whatever it is, he had some supernatural powers. He said, don't cross these 3 lines, you will be safe. And he goes away, and Sita is inside. And at that point, Ravan, which is our, this 10-headed demon.
Our inner demon,
inner demon that is like 10 vices. And he comes asking, begging for alms, for food. And she says that, I don't have it. It was past the lunch hour. There was nothing in the... Besides, she says, I cannot cross these lines. My brother-in-law has drawn this line. And you know how desires are. They
get the better of you.
Yeah, they will find an excuse and they will try different ways. And
they'll rationalize it to you, justify it.
Yes. And then, so what happened is, she finally goes inside and finds a little bit of fruit or something that was left over, and she crossed those 3 lines, and she was trying to give him the alms when he kidnapped her. Now the reason is, why did the rishis chose to say that there were 3 lines? They could have said 1 line, 2 lines, 5 lines. These lines are boundaries. Anything that you do to protect yourself in this world, you always have to know what are your physical limits, what are your emotional limits, and what are your intellectual limits, what is right and wrong. And she, again, people ask that it's a good thing to give alms to somebody who's hungry. Now, she was not doing that to help somebody who was hungry, because she really didn't have anything, and that what she gave would not have satisfied or assuaged her. Her ego kicked in. I, the princess of Ayodhya, the wife of Ram, the daughter of
have a duty to serve,
and I cannot give, then you forget. Sometimes you cannot help. And what she was hoping to do is give some alms, but what did she do? She triggered a war by which so many people died, fighting for something that because you could not control your ego. And also going back a little bit, do you think as a princess that was so educated and erudite, she did not know there is no such thing as
a golden deer?
We know that when we say that last drink, that last, whatever drugs or drinks or substance abuse we do, or overeat, or even relationship, this one last time we're going to do it.
You know it's not good for you, but it feels good in the moment, or it feels whatever.
Exactly. And then you send away, not only you send away your higher knowing, you know it's wrong. Then when your awareness says that I cannot go, at least understand what you're doing, you banish your awareness. You don't want to think about it because you want it so desperately.
We were talking about this last time, the willful blindness. You're choosing to ignore the facts that will shed the light on what you should have known.
Exactly. So you send that away. What happens? Then you cross those mental boundaries you've drawn for yourself.
Emotional boundaries.
Your awareness has drawn, and your intellectual boundaries. Emotional is, not giving into excessive emotions, like being emotional is okay, but excessively. And then intellectually, you don't even question yourself, like that blind faith, that am I really going in the right direction.
Yeah.
Then you get kidnapped by your vices. And who brings, so Ram and your body and your spirit are separated. Ram and Sita are separated. Who brings them back together? Hanuman and Lakshman. You still need your awareness, you still need breath control to sit in quietness, to go inward, to connect with your body, with your awareness, with your spirit, and then you're back into being whole again.
Yeah.
So these are lessons, these are the broad bird's eye view lessons.
Yeah.
I mean, every anecdote has a story behind
No,
it.
of course. This is particularly helpful because I think it's very salient in everyone's life, whether it be a job or a relationship or an addiction or anything ranging from very small to very serious that
Yes.
I think we've all dealt with more than once growing up and
Exactly.
continue to deal with. So.
Exactly. And we come up with excuses and we know
Exactly.
what is wrong and yet we insist on doing it.
Yeah.
So this is something, if you hear the story, remind yourself, you know that there are boundaries always.
Yeah, and you can see the havoc that will result if you break those boundaries.
Yeah, and also to remember that no matter how careful you are, there will be moments in your life whether you'll give in to your
Have weak
yeah,
moments,
but then you can bring yourself back, become whole
It's not the
again,
end all be
and
all.
it's within you. Your breath is within you, your awareness is within you, your spirit is within you.
Yeah, and I think that the 3 lines kind of symbolize, okay, you have 3 chances to kind of say, is this the right thing, is this the right thing? When you cross all 3, then it's really bad.
That
You
is
have
beautiful,
so many ways,
yeah.
almost like road signs telling you, stop, stop, stop.
Exactly.
And then-
That's a beautiful, yeah, I didn't think of it that way, but yes, that is actually right.
Yeah.
So,
That
does
sounds
that answer
Yeah.
your question?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for watching this video, and if you have any questions, please comment in the comment box or send us a message, and thank you for watching again. Stay safe.